What's up guys, Phantom here back with episode 78 of my F1 2019 career mode as we are going to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix of round 14 of season 4 here. As you can see, we have a ultimate power upgrade here at Monza, which should help, as we also have a front and a rear wing upgrade coming at Singapore, so that should help us out a lot, as we actually won't be qualifying here as we need to change our components. So we will skip qualifying so Leclerc can start a little bit back in the group instead of qualifying on pole and running away. So here, as we go through the intro, we will actually skip qualifying as we will head straight to the race.
Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
As you can see here at the end of Q1, where we kind of just retired, as you saw, Leclerc was at pole position there, as hopefully that won't be for Q3 as we go to the race.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Raikkonen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. With top speeds up to 215 miles per hour and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about old time. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Leclerc, Lucas Faber, and Vettel, Hamilton, Stroll, Grosjean, and Kevin Magnussen. Verstappen, Ricciardo, Daniel Kvyat, and Norris, Sainz, Butler, Kimi Raikkonen, and Nico Hülkenberg, Russell, and Oldtimer. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
As we start here on the grid in P20, as Leclerc is not that much better than what we thought. He's in P4, but the lights are away as we are behind the Williams of Hülkenberg and Russell here, as we're going to look down the inside here of Butler and the rest of everybody. We squeak by Norris, so we lock up here. We kind of have to cut the chicane as we are next to our teammate Ricciardo, as he kind of gave us the big squeeze there. As we are down in 14, we actually squeezed out, looks to be Sainz there for a little bit, and he lost the position to his teammate Norris here, as they should be a little bit slow at the chicane, so we should be able to dive down. We've actually dived down Kvyat there, as our teammate Ricciardo hit us there a little bit. He got an amazing drive off, very surprising there, as he'll have the inside and he'll take back P13 away from us, but as we come down to Ascari, we'll make an easy move here as he doesn't clip us in the rear wing like Leclerc did in Season 2, as we come onto the front stretch here with Verstappen all the way down and P12, now P13, as we're going to go down the inside of Kvyat and Stroll here, as we're going to make sure not to run into the side of him, as we've Looks like Verstappen's fighting back as well, as we're now drag racing here. It looks like maybe as we're finally going to get Stroll's slipstream there. As Stroll is really slow as we're going to chop down here to the inside. Almost went into the grass there as he kind of ran into the side of us. We kind of collided over the curve there and we almost flipped it, and we got an exceeding track limit as Perez is set the fastest lap, and Hamilton, but we have smashed them as we are coming down here to turn 1 against Grosjean. We're going to pull out here. We think we can make the move stick as we've kind of gone down the inside there, but we've compromised him so we can do the switchback on him, and we get amazing traction compared to him as we will take P9 away from him as we are coming up to Magnussen, as they are completely bunched up here like they were in Season 3 as we dive down the inside of Weber and Albon, but Albon was temporarily got back past as we come down towards the turn 1 chicane here as we're going to dive down, and there's our buddy Leclerc, who's 70 points. As we try to squeeze out Albon, he actually would have none of it as he kind of stuck his nose down the inside there. Fair for him to do, but we kept the position. But Leclerc, who's right now 70 points ahead, something like that, he's really far ahead in the championship with 2/3 of the season done with, as this has worked out as good as we possibly have hoped, as he's not run away his teammate Perez has, as Hamilton was looking on a move at Bottas there, as we're going to go around the outside of both of them there as we make sure not to run in the side of there of Bottas as we are getting the better traction. We kind of cut him off there a little bit as we are coming through the Curva Grandes. He is really hounding us. He is not letting us breathe at all as he wants back on the podium, but we will keep that position as we set the fastest lap here of the race on lap 7 as we are attacking Vettel here around the outside as we will make the move stick as he is coming back here as we kind of squeeze him out there on the outside as we were taking P2, but as just like a quarter of a lap later, he's out of the race at the next chicane. He's kind of just blown up there as the Tifosi will not be very happy about that as he is going to lose a 3rd place as Leclerc has gone past everybody else and he's starting to run away towards me as we are coming into the pits at the end of this lap as Perez has set another fastest lap of the race here as we make sure not the speed coming into the pits as we're looking back for Leclerc there as it looks like he will not be pitting as well as we are coming into the pits. We have a 2.04 second pit stop there as we are down to 13th as it looks like the rest of the people are coming in as Hulkenberg is actually staying out, so he will temporarily take 13th from us, but we will take a good chunk of the positions we've lost there as we're back up to P6 and now coming back up to P2 as we set the fastest lap of the race, but Perez is pretty far out ahead, but we will give it our best shot there as we set the fastest lap of the race. But clearly we were just too far behind. We were 6-7 seconds behind him with 3 laps left. We were never ever going to beat him as Perez gets his first career win here in Season 4 as we take 2nd.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for McLaren. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track. So let's review the updated driver standings. This result narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Old Timer. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.